This tutorial is all about how to start the process of editing your web pages. We've gone through the login process, and now we're looking at where do we go to start editing the pages on your website. Okay, in most instances your websites will be static websites as against a blog. Wordpress was originally put together as blog software, but it's now one of the best static website content management systems around. The difference here is that you have posts which are for blogs and pages which are for static websites. You'll be working on your static website, so what we need to do is click the pages link here, and a list of pages on your website will be shown here. In our case, we only have one page that's been created at this stage. You may well have 8, 10, 20 pages in a list. What you do now is you select the page that you want to edit, and you click on its title here. On this page that's come up, we have this red area which says view the autosave. In most instances, when you see that, you can ignore it, and which is what we're going to do now. What we're looking at here is the edit area for the home page. That's the name of the page, that's the title. The permalink area here shows you what the actual URL of this page is, and it is the domain name, basically, with no postfixes. Below that we have an area which says upload and insert with a few icons. The first icon is add an image, so you use that icon to upload and add an image, which that's an area that we'll address with a future tutorial. We have another icon, add video, add audio, and add media. Media being files such as PDF files, that sort of thing. On the same line we have the visual and the HTML tabs. You'll almost, 99% of the time you'll be using the visual tab. The HTML tab just shows the HTML code for the actual content of the page, which is what this area is. This shows the content that is included on the home page at this stage. This is what's included on the home page for this website, aussiewebhelp.com.au, and we're going to edit that shortly. Before we get to that point, we need to look at the icons which are shown here. This visual or WYSIWYG editor is very similar to the sorts of thing that you would have been using with to create Word documents, and even with some email programs and the like. So we have a number of icons. If you hover your cursor over the icon, the name of the icon or what the icon does will show in a little drop down box, so you'll be able to see each one of those icons. There are in fact more icons that we can place on there. If there's something on there that's missing, we can address. We can actually add more icons in there, and we'll address that in a future tutorial, which will be about configuring TinyMCE. So if you're looking for that link at some stage, the link will on the page that you go to with all these links to all these tutorials, look for the TinyMCE link. So now that we've seen all these icons, we can see what they can do. It's simply a matter of placing your cursor in the box and typing. That will allow you to, or you can copy and paste. That will allow you to add your content, your text content, onto the page. You can format it, by using the icons. If I want to make this bold, I click the B button. If I want to make it italic, I click the italic button, etc. And if I want to make this a button, a list, then I can do it by clicking the list button. So we won't go any further with this. The point is that it's a fairly simple process that you've probably used with your word processing software, and it's quite easy to do. One point with this is if you do make a mistake and you just can't get rid of it for some reason, what you can do is you can actually navigate away from the page by clicking over here to go back to the list of pages. This screen will come up and ask you sure if you want to navigate away from the page, and you do, because you don't want to save this. You just want to get away and go back to where you started. So you click OK. You've gone away from the page. If you go now back to that page, you'll see that what we did before has disappeared. So if we just do it again, and now we want to actually save it so that what we've done actually appears on the website, all we need to do is click the update button and make sure that the button does click, and you see this little circles to show that it's happening, and now that will have been saved on our website. Now the way to check that, if you're using, whether you're using Internet Explorer or Firefox, you now have these tabs that you can create up here. You don't have to keep opening up new versions or new screens. You can just open a new tab in WordPress. So I will open a new tab, which just goes to a standard page, and then I'll go to the website that we're editing. And oops, as we can see, there was a misspell there, so we'll try that one again. And there's the web page, and as you can see, the editing that we've just done has been saved to it. So we'll just now flick back to our edit page, and you can see the usefulness of these different tabs. You can edit, and you can flick straight across immediately to see the work that you've done, to see how it's saved. Now if I've just done some more work on here, and saved it, and I go back to that page, it's obviously not going to show until I refresh the page. Now the way to refresh the page is to right click in Internet Explorer, right click, go down to refresh, click refresh. It will refresh the page, and you'll now see that the latest edition has been saved on there. That at this stage will do for the actual editing of the text and content of your web pages. With the next tutorial, we'll address the insertion and management of images on the page.